to be a little higher. Ni hao, welcome. My name is Nigel Healy. I'm Pro Vice Chancellor International and a professor at Nottingham Trent University in the UK. And it's my privilege to be the chair of the QS Apple International Academic Advisory Committee. And on behalf of that committee, I'm delighted to welcome you to Taipei, where our 10th annual QS Apple Conference is being hosted by Taipei Medical University. Founded as Taipei Medical College in 1960, TMU is today one of the world's leading specialist medical universities, colleges and teaching hospitals. The QS Apple Conference brings together international educators, senior academic administrators, and government officials from across Asia Pacific and the world. Our mission is to build world-class universities for the Asia Pacific through global partnership and collaboration. This conference offers delegates the opportunity to network, exchange best practice, and better understand the changing face of higher education in the Asia Pacific, the world's most populous and fastest growing region. Each year the conference moves to a different geographic location to highlight the richness and diversity of higher education in the Asia Pacific. In previous years, this conference location has moved from Singapore to Hong Kong, Kuala Lumpur, Manila, Bali, and Seoul. This year we're privileged to be here in Taipei, where the 10th annual conference is being hosted in the shadow of Taipei 101, Asia's tallest building. Taiwan's rapid industrialization has been called the Taiwan miracle. Along with Hong Kong, South Korea, and Singapore, Taiwan is one of the famed four Asian tigers. Its dynamic export-driven economy plays a role in world trade, with international household name companies like Acer, Asus, D-Link, HTC, United Microelectronics Corporation, and Giant Manufacturing Corporation, the world's largest bicycle manufacturer. And Taiwan's economic rise has been underpinned by investment in higher education. Today there are over 100 institutions of higher education in Taiwan, serving a population of 23 million. And at high school level, Taiwan boasts some of the highest test scores in the world in mathematics and science. So Taiwan is undoubtedly one of Asia's success stories. But Asia is a continent of 3.5 billion that still includes many developing nations. The International Academic Advisory Committee has worked hard each year to ensure that this conference reflects the diversity of Asia. While we want to share best practice and learn from Asia's top universities, we also want to hear about policy developments in the developing parts of Asia and how those regions are adapting to the challenges of globalization. So by way of a bit of housekeeping, to assist you in choosing sessions, we've organized the conference into 5 tracks. Track 1, internationalizing the student body and so on. And to help you navigate around the conference, each track has been assigned a dedicated room. Timetables arranged so that there are no clashes within a given track. So if, for example, you're interested in internationalizing the student body, all of those sessions will take place in the UNIMAT room, which is in level 2. We have this year over 100 speakers exploring these 5 themes in a range of interactive seminar-style sessions, workshops, and panel discussions. And I hope that you'll find the next 3 days engaging and inspiring. This conference provides a wonderful opportunity to network with colleagues from around the world, to build new partnerships and make new friends. Again, by way of housekeeping, the PowerPoint presentations for all of the sessions will be available on the conference website within a week or so of the conference ending, and all delegates will receive an email advising them of the download. I'd like at this point also to draw your attention to the app, which I think Ashwin is going to flash up now. This app you can see on the screen. You can download it from the App Store for either Apple, the other Apple, or Google Play, and you can see there the username and passwords, Apple 2014. This will allow you to contact other delegates, to send messages, and so on. So it's an extremely versatile application to support the conference. I'd just like to offer a few words of thanks, certainly to my colleagues on the International Academic Advisory Committee. This committee comprises volunteers, senior university academics and administrators from across the region, including Australia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Korea, Singapore, Taiwan and Thailand. A big thank you from me to each of them. I'd also like to thank the team from Taipei Medical University and all the QS Asia staff who make this possible. So, welcome again to Taipei Medical University and to a truly international experience. It's now my privilege to introduce our keynote speaker this morning. Professor Flora Chih-ee Chang is president of Tam Kang University. Tam Kang University is Taiwan's oldest private institution of higher education and is one of its most distinguished. Ranked 9th by Taiwan's Ministry of Education and amongst the top 50 in Asia, it's known for an international outlook, with over 50 nationalities represented amongst its 28,000 students, and partnerships with over 100 universities from 28 countries. Reflecting her commitment to internationalization, Professor Chang is midway through her second three-year term as chairperson of the Foundation for International Cooperation in Higher Education in Taiwan, that many of you may know as FISHET. She will speak to us on the future of from a Taiwan perspective. Professor Chang. So, Professor Chang, the floor is yours.
Good morning, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for Professor Healy's introduction, and it is my great honor to participate this QS 10th conference. And I'm very glad to have the opportunity to share with you my view of the future of higher education from a Taiwan perspective. Before I move on to my outline, I'll spend some time talking about the future studies. Because Tam Kang University, our main concept is globalization, information-oriented education, and future-oriented education. So, next. I'll spend one page introduce what we are doing for the future study at Tam Kang University. All the undergraduate students are required to take one course called STEEP, either in society, technology, economics, environment, or politics, as general education for future studies. And we have the only graduate program of future studies in Taiwan. It's a master program. We publish Journal of Future Studies. And also, we were awarded as one of the best future institutions by World Future Studies Federation. So I'll spend another 4 PowerPoints explaining the conceptual framework for future study. When we frame our future, I use a graph from the Center for Future Studies, Kent University of UK. The future's thinking, 6 components. The first is we'll think about the current situation. Also, we'll think back what we went back before. The third, we'll think over drives of change. And the fourth, we'll think through the impacts and consequences. After we think about the 4 elements, then we can think about our future scenario. Also, we can think forward the ends. So if we want a better future, it is very important we look back very detailed what in the past, also in the present. By looking at, learn from the past and present, we can know probably our future will look like. So by knowing the future, we provide the knowledge for managing change. We can identify our threats and opportunities. We frame possible and probable futures and their implications, inform strategic planning and product development. That's all what we always do to predict our future. But my talk will be focused on, in order to just accept the future, it's better we create our own future. We can set the new vision for our future and define the preferred future and draw roadmaps to that preferred future and determine the strategic agenda for a better future that's created by ourselves. So my outline will be 3 R's. The first one is to review Taiwan's higher education and government policies. Second is reflect the drive forces and challenges facing in Taiwan. Probably we are facing the similar challenges all over the world. And third, I want to redirect the preferred future in the conclusion. So the first, we will review some of the Taiwan higher education system and government policies. Here's the current education in Taiwan. I guess we are pretty similar to many countries. We have kindergarten and 6-year primary education and 3-year junior high and 3-year senior high and 4 years college and university. And we have both college and also the vocational university and colleges. And for the medical school, we have 6 years for the dentistry, and medicine is 7 years. And starting year 2014, just this year, we have started our 12-year the compulsory education from K to 12. And this is sort of the types of our university. And the blue one is for the public. You can see we have altogether 159 universities and colleges. And right now, 59 is public, and we have 100 private universities. In terms of student allocation, still you can see the among the 1,300,000 students, there are 32% are in public university and 68% are in private university. In the Taiwan University, the performance, I use the data for ranking. Taiwan ranked ninth in higher education and training according to the competitiveness evaluation report of the World Economic Forum. I only use the 2013 statistics. And there are 14 Taiwan universities within the world top 200 according to the QS university ranking. And 9 Taiwan universities are within the top 500 according to the R and the Shanghai Jiao Tong University. And 50 Taiwan universities enter the World Social Science Academic Ranking according to the ESI in year 2012. And also world ranking by subject. Taiwan has 14 universities in the top 200 university of 28 subjects. Also, QS top 200 Asian university, there are 12 Taiwanese universities are in the top 200. And also another conducted by QS is Best Student Cities. Taipei is the 28th best city to study in the world. Just give a brief introduction of Taiwan's higher education institution. Government policies, I think just like in Japan, Korea, mainland China, and also Singapore, Hong Kong, and all the Southeast Asia, we have concentrated our budget to want many of our universities to be included in the ranking, like 100, top 100, top 200. So in Taiwan, we also have some of the budget. So the first one is the top university project. That's called the 5-year, 50 billion. That's Taiwan dollar. And now we are in the second phase. And by using the budget, encouraging university to recruit renowned professors, scholars, and promote more international exchange. So right now we have 12 universities in the top university. And besides the top university, we can apply for the program for promoting teaching excellence. That's for about 33 universities are being granted. And also for the vocational technological university, Taiwan government launched the Paradigm Project. Right now, 12 technological universities were granted. And also, encourage all the universities to do the accreditation. So conducted by the Higher Education Evaluation and Accreditation Council of Taiwan, called HEAD. They conducted 2 kinds of accreditation. One is the institutional, the other is the program. And there's a 5-year cycle for each university for doing institutional and program. And there are many scholarships to encourage, to give incentive for the international cooperation. And in the beginning, I think Professor Healy just introduced the feature, which I serve as a chairperson. This is my 6th year. And feature was founded in year 2005. And right now, among the Taiwan University, we have 118 member universities. And feature just serves as a platform for promote international cooperation between Taiwan domestic universities and our international academic partners. So the government also give many incentives for students to go abroad. So there are 4 kinds of scholarship for outbound students. First one is the short-term study scholarship for talented students. We call it 学海飞扬. That's for exchange and joint degree. So there are 110 universities receive the grant. And the second is short-term, just for financially disadvantaged students, called the 学海习珠. So there are about 62 students awarded. And the third one is for internship. There are about more than 80 universities are granted. So it's called 学海逐梦. Also, we encourage students to do the international youth volunteers. And also, we have many kinds of Taiwan scholarship for our international students, especially from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Ministry of Education. Both have the Taiwan scholarship. The monthly stipend is average about US dollar 1,000. So that's for the government policies. So we move on to look at some data. Since year 2001, Taiwan government has signed bilateral agreement with about 15 countries for the academic cooperation. And many universities also signed agreement with the foreign international universities. This is the number. I think the number will be even larger in 2014, but this is only 2013's data. Among about 10,000 agreements, you can tell many are. The first is in the United States, and the second is Japan and Vietnam, Korea, and Thailand, UK. That's the top 10 agreement signing for faculty exchange or student exchange. And for the student mobility, we can see the international students inbound to Taiwan. Among the 60 students, the majority are from Asia. I think many are from Southeast Asia, and also Japan, Korea, also mainland China. And there are not too many from the other 4 continents, like America, Europe, and also Africa. And also the inbound students, if by nation, the number 1 is from Malaysia, and the second is from Macau. Of course, there are many overseas Chinese are also included in this category. So you can see also still many are from the Asian country, from Indonesia, Hong Kong, and so on. And the outbound students from Taiwan, so you can see most of us go to the country. So the US ranked number 1, and UK, Australia, Canada. But still many students go to Japan because the historical relationship with Japan, and many also go to France, Germany, and etc. So this is how the students inbound and outbound in Taiwan. So after review all the current situation in Taiwan, as I mentioned, we just think about and think. Now we have to think over and think through what's the challenges are facing Taiwan. But as I mentioned, I believe these are the world phenomenon. So actually, Taiwan higher education is also influenced by the whole world. So the 4 points I would like to mention is, the first one is demographic change. The second is economic and political inequality. Third is global competition. And the fourth is technological innovation. I think the demographic change is a worldwide phenomenon. I know Japan and also Korea has a similar situation, the very low birth rate. And Taiwan almost hit the lowest birth rate in the world. It's only 0.9 for so it's very, very low. And we will face the shortage of student enrollment for all the universities. So right now we have 160, but the Minister of Education, he just point out in the newspaper, it's better we reduce to 100 university. So I don't know how to do to disappear. There were 60 universities will be disappeared in the near future. So that's the low birth rate. It's very many universities are facing. So many universities are downsizing or merge institutions or the departments or inside university. Also, the recruitment wars for the students and also the faculties. And also, the second is the longevity. Many universities are thinking we want to recruit the non-traditional students. Right now, we only have the market 1 student between 18 to 22. And also, the market 2 is the working population. But now probably we want to recruit the one who retired from their work, because according to the medical report, people can all live to about hundreds, right? Not probably President Yan will agree. So the Taipei Medical School, their report. So after retire about years 70, you still have a very long way to go. So probably it's better to think about going back to school for another degree. And so structure of our programs and also transformation of faculty capacity, teaching the different subject to different students. The second challenges in Taiwan, I guess, is the economic and political inequality because the scarce of funding. So each university are competing for grant writing for the science, the grant. And also the low tuition policy. Give you a number, you can see that Taiwan is a very low tuition country. For the public university, our tuition is $2,000 a year. And for private university, it's $3,500 a year. So is that cheap enough? It's very low, our tuition. So the president, especially for the private university, will be better be a magician or a Superman. We can create our own budget because most of our budget, over 60%, are coming from the tuition. And since the tuition is very low, and so it's fun, and also the fundraising. The donation is not very popular in Taiwan. The people, they like to donate into their religion, to the temple, but they are not donating to the university. And the third is employment-oriented. Right now, all of our parents and students want employment-oriented. So we have the vocational focus program, school to work learning experiences. And also, we want to promote more industry academic cooperation. That will give some more help for the university budget. And also the equity versus equality. Poor gets poorer. In Taiwan, most of the students from the wealthy family, they go to public university. And actually many students, disadvantaged students, they study in private university or in the vocational university. That's a kind of inequality. And also the global competition, I think the international ranking, I just point out all the ranking in Taiwan. Actually, the ranking is very famous, focused on the research and also the university reputation. And there's teaching and learning negligence. They count the teaching and learning. And most of countries, as I mentioned, we want to have some of the university, they can join the Millionaires Club. That means like top 100 ranking. And once you join it, it's not easy to get out because you have all the support and resources. So that's the international ranking, global competition. And also for the accreditation, most of the time it's the one-size-fits-all standards. So we have to have many standards set up by our evaluation council. And also there's the international recruitment and faculty of students competition. So there's a brain drain problem. I know there are many of our faculty members are recruited by Singapore, Hong Kong, or even mainland China because they are higher salary. And also we have the national protectionism. We still have national protection our own people because after many students, foreign students are studying in Taiwan, they are not allowed to work in Taiwan. So still the global competition. And the fourth is the technological innovation. So that's like the online distance education. And for the online courses, assure the quality of the course. It's very hard to do. And also, how do you measure the student learning engagement? Well, that's all the problem. And the open source courses, still academic colonialism, because I think still the English-speaking country are dominant, like the MOOCs and or the open course. There are many for-profit education suppliers right now, and the rich gets richer. And also there are degree inflation, so there are too many degrees you can get from many of the institutions. So these are all the drive forces and challenges facing our higher education in the world right now. So if we, just by knowing the past and the present, imagine how's our future? It will still the same. Just keep going on, because future is a continuous phenomenon of present. But if we look at future studies, we can see the future is discontinuous phenomenon. We can create our own future. So here is my preferred future. I'm not sure all of you will agree with me, but that's my preferred future for higher education. I hope that will be the kind for the whole world or in Taiwan. We'll do global collaboration, cross-border cooperation. We'll have many great universities. And the university will do self-study and improvement. And will raise public awareness and support for higher education. The first one is instead of competition or ranking, we would like the university do the global collaboration. So those who can help, those who cannot, and those who have shared with those who have not. We have joint research, joint teaching. The students have the ability to learning without borders. We'll have more joint degree program and more strategic alliance among institutions. That's what we are doing already, but I think that's not enough because we are still compete with each other. So we hope we have all the global collaboration between worldwide and also in Taiwan. And also we'll have many great universities instead of world-class university. Right now, every university wants to be a world-class university. Yeah, including Tankang. We are thinking of how we can go increase our ranking each year. But my preferred future is we can respect diversity and pluralism for all kinds of university. So probably scale is not what we want. We want more diversity. So like many liberal arts college in the United States, and we want to pluralism, we can have many different area, not necessarily being a comprehensive university. And also we want to refocus on the core value of education. There's two books. One is written by a Harvard professor, Harry Lewis, called The Soul of Excellence. He said, great university forgot we should pay attention to the soul of students, of excellence of students. And also, that's newly published by the Stanford former president, President Casper, called The Winds of Freedom. All the two books are talking about we have to refocus on the core value of education. So at Tan Kong University and many of the universities in Taiwan, we are applying the traditional Oxbridge residential college ideology. All the students and professors, they are living together. And the community of scholars, they share their experience and their teaching after the class. So most of the students' learning is they can learn outside their classroom. So this is the core value of higher education for the integration of faculty and students. And also we can cultivate the holistic environment, holistic education. So we hope more university will be focused on this core value. And also, as I mentioned, the ranking neglect the teaching because we don't have assessment tool for measuring student learning outcome. I hope there are more research doing on how to measuring student learning outcome. Then it is more important that we have different grade university. And also, besides by using the accreditation, we hope every higher education institution to do self-study and improvement. That's what we are going to do in Taiwan. We can apply to do self-study instead of conducted the accreditation by the HEAC. So each university will set their own institution mission. They'll set their own academic quality standard and student learning, faculty teaching, and knowledge transfer and management, and most importantly, do the social services. I think that's the university function for our university. But if you focus too much on the competition, many of this will be neglected and put not too much focus on all this. And finally, the public awareness and support. We'll try to have public awareness and consensus to how to establish, and they all agree education is a public good. So they will have consensus to give subsidy to the higher education institution. Also, the people will give donation, give fund to higher education institution. Not only for public institution, I guess also private is also a public good. So we'll have public awareness. And also we'll have reasonable costs for education. The problem I mentioned in Taiwan, the tuition is not an education problem. Actually, it's a political problem. So it's very hard we raise the tuition because of the legislator. They are against the low tuition. So it's a political problem. So we still need a reasonable cost for education. And also, we are all agreed that the capital accumulation for education is very important for the sustainability of human resource development. So my conclusion is that in the pond, do you like they are all swan, all white swan, same size, same shape? They are swimming in the lake. Do you like this? Or the white swans? Or you prefer different swans, different shape, different size? I think all the higher institutions in the world will have different size, different shape, different color, but they are all great universities. So actually, I don't have specific conclusion for my talk. I just raise some questions. What is your possible future? As I mentioned, do you like your past, your present? If we just keep going on, what will be your possible future? And what is your probable future? That's still, if we make some changes, we can have different future. But is that you want? So what is your preferred future? So is there our shared future? So I just share with you my preferred future, but I'm not sure all of you will agree with me. But I think we are all try our best. We just hold hand in hands all together for a more collaborative world, and the Asian Pacific Higher Education Institution will be a win-win situation in the near future. Okay, so I conclude my talk. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for your fantastic and inspiring presentation. Please remain on the stage. Professor Yun Yan, President of Taipei Medical University, to present a token of appreciation to President Chen. President Yun Yan, please. President Chen and President Yan please stay on the stage. I would like to invite QS Asia CEO Manny Mok and Dr. Lily Chen, CEO of Federation for International Cooperation of Higher Education in Taiwan, to move on to the stage. Professor Flora Jia Chen is the president of Tamkang University and is also the chairperson of Federation for International Cooperation of Higher Education in Taiwan. Both President Jia Chen and CEO Lily Chen have devoted themselves to promoting the internationalization of higher education in Taiwan. To recognize their distinguished contribution in higher education, I would like to invite President Yun Yan and CEO Manny Mok to present the recognition for outstanding contribution token to President Flora Jia Chen and CEO Lily Chen, respectively. Let's give them a big hand. Mandy. Please have a group photo together. Thank you very much. Please return to your seat. So this is the end of welcome section. We will have a 30-minute coffee break at the exhibition area at level 3, and the parallel section start at 11:30 at level 2. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you.